Welcome to week 2 of the BDE Sports Talk Pickem Show. My name is Bill, one of 3 brothers, along with Dean and Eddie. Fellas, we need one of you guys to start hosting one of these.
We're gonna go into the weekend update now.
Yeah.
Before we get this going, I just want to say, please like the video. Just the same spiel over and over.
Yeah.
Well, it is. We get it, guy.
How you guys doing?
Good.
All right, doing good. Okay.
There's something.
Oh,
And then
I think he's doing that on purpose.
I don't know. He's doing a pretty good job.
but
Yeah, he is.
welcome to the show, mother. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any of you watched, hey, by the way,
Hey,
I will say before we get going, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'll say we got our first thumbs down.
ooh, on the Pickems.
Someone threw a thumbs down.
It was me.
I know.
Was it on the
I know.
picks?
It doesn't say when. It just
No.
says
Which video?
this one, like last week.
The Pickems. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well,
So-
I mean, I did make some pretty bad picks. Not this week. Follow all my picks. You're making money. Put your house on it, baby. We're making money this weekend.
Oh, jeez.
You did say last week you got to lose one house before you get 2.
You do, and you're about to win 3. This ain't Publishers Clearinghouse, son. You got to lay the money down. It's happening.
Well, speaking of that,
Toning it down a notch.
so last week for our pick'em between the 3 of us, we have points: 3 points for a lock for your Stone Cold Lock of the Week, 2 points for the spread or over under. I still didn't get the over unders this week. That's my bad. And 1 point for the money line straight pick'em. So in third place after week 1 is Eddie with 23 points. Dean is in second with 29 points. And your boy is in first with 37 points.
You ain't nobody's
Dang.
boy.
I went off this weekend. So, real quick to go over records. Eddie, on the money line, you were 11-6 for 64.7%.
Yikes.
Dean was 13-5 with a 72.2%. I was 12-5 at 70.5%. So Dean's lock wasn't on where we had the picks, so he did win the 3 points for his lock, but he doesn't get a point because that'd just be an extra game. So, but it does count towards your record. I will say that. That's why you were 13-5. I was 12-5. Dean and I both won our Stone Cold Lock of the Week. Eddie did not. And
The Stone Cold spread lock.
yes, the Stone Cold
Yeah.
spread lock, which will be the lock going forward.
That is the only actual points lock.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
So, and with
Perfect.
that,
'Cause you're
our
screwed.
our record against the spread, Eddie, you were 6-9 for 40%. Dean was 7-9 with 43.7%. I was 11-4 at 73.3%.
Nice.
Which is probably the best weekend I've ever had, if we're being honest. But usually I'll throw like 9-team parlays and try to get like a plus 11,000 odds.
Yeah.
And, and hope that my $10 is you know, I already told Kate, I said, if we're gonna keep doing this, I want to just set aside money every week or every paycheck so that when I get into college football season, I just have a pot of cash to bet with. I think that might be the way to go. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna start putting more money in this week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I say that, and then I'm gonna go 4-11.
Hey, that's how it
Lost-
goes, man. That's how the
lost
lines go
house.
sometimes.
Over here.
Losing a house because I was tailing you.
No, you're about to gain houses this weekend.
Three
man.
houses.
Tail me the whole way. You want to win this thing?
For everyone out there, before we got this show going, Eddie did say he was not very happy about what happened last week. So he said he put in quite a bit of research. Hopefully this episode doesn't take 3 hours. He's got like 10 pages.
No, dude, I don't got anything like that. I don't got anything like that. I just did enough to where I feel good about what I'm picking and why.
I like it.
But
it's not extensive. It's not extensive at all.
Where I'm just going purely off gut. What I
So
really
if anybody
don't know
wants
about last year.
Like, I did the worst, so nobody should be actually following me on this, but I did enough to where I have a reason for pretty much every game except for 2 that you could easily look at and be like, okay, that makes sense to me. But they're quick. It's not like, oh, New Hampshire's running back went for 200 yards last weekend and he did 200 yards in week 2 of 2019. Also going into his 5th year grad season,
right.
He's ready to hit that again. No.
Is that real?
No. That's how good I am, bro. No.
Well,
that'd be crazy though if that was true. Somebody's like, holy shit, I looked that up.
So, all right. Well, I say we get into week 2. So, we will start off with our 2 pickems, which I don't know if you guys have looked if CMU and the MSU game have a line.
I haven't seen it yet. If there is,
I did not see one. So I just have those 2 as pickems, but we have them because of our podcast and its Michigan teams. So we will start with New Hampshire at CMU to lead things off. And we can, instead of Eddie going first every time, I can just kind of rotate it. So I don't know if
I have nothing to say. So I'll just go last.
Well, I mean,
quick pick at the end.
If you go first, just say I got this and this. That's fine.
Okay,
that's fine. So I mean, you're in second.
It's all gut.
All gut. I love it.
All gut, no knowledge.
You made it work out.
I guess.
We'll start off with Eddie. Who you got this week?
New Hampshire at CMU. I mean, they got that running back who's peeled off. Just joking. Just CMU. CMU. I mean, they'll probably win by 2 touchdowns. New Hampshire. It's just not in the class of like a CMU. I mean, right. I think Bert Emanuel's going to get it going. I hope they do some more passing this week. Just as a CMU fan, alumni, I'm just hoping that Bert gets more passing in it on a team this week, even if the game is close because they're trying other stuff out. That kid needs to throw the football around because that was ugly.
Yeah.
Last week. That's it. But CMU wins. I mean,
I agree. Same here. CMU.
Yeah. CMU wins for sure.
And I'm going to go with the same thing with MSU Richmond. I got MSU by, I mean, we talked about it on the podcast, I think, where I said they might win 41-0. So that's me. I got MSU.
Yeah.
Should
Uh,
yeah.
Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, it should be a high scoring game for Michigan State. Probably take the win there.
Yeah, I mean, I you'd have to put a lot of money down, but I put this as a stone cold money line lock of the week, right? Michigan State is obviously going to run over Richmond. You'd have to put a lot of money down to win some money, but you would guarantee to win some money. Richmond MSU. MSU is actually, just a quick stat, 5-1 in their last 6 week 2 games. And you're playing against somebody like Richmond. I mean, it's going to be 6-1 in their last 7. Easy as that.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, we got Western at Syracuse. Syracuse is at -23. I got Syracuse winning, and I got Syracuse covering. They shut out Colgate 65-0. I understand this Colgate. Western is probably not this is better than Colgate, but I wouldn't say by leaps and bounds. I think Syracuse will cover. It'll probably be close. It'll probably be closer to that line, but I still think it's 28 at least.
Yeah,
Eddie?
I got I got Syracuse winning obviously, but I got Western covering. Western Michigan is 5-1 against the spread. They're also 7 for 7 on the under. So if you want another bet to put on that, I mean, maybe play the under for that game. I'm not locking that, but I would say that's if they're 7 over their last 7, that's pretty good. 5-1 against the spread. I like Western to cover against Syracuse, who only beat up on Colgate. And Western actually overperformed against St. Francis. So I like Western to cover, Syracuse to win.
It's an interesting take. Yeah, I also picked Syracuse to win. I think they're just going to be too much for Western. I also think Syracuse is going to cover the spread as well.
Perfect. I need these makeup games. I'm already down big week 1.
Next up, we got Eastern at Minnesota. Minnesota -20. Dean, who you got?
So this was actually a little bit of a tough one for me. I thought Minnesota would take Nebraska out a little bit harder. Like I said, I mean, it's Big Ten teams, so anything, those kids are talented. EMU, I thought was going to look better, or at least win by more. I mean, they just let off the gas, whatever the case may have been. I'm going to go with Minnesota though, and I think EMU is going to cover the spread.
I like it. Eddie?
What about you, Bill? You want me to go?
Yeah.
I actually, I have stats that work against what I'm picking. It's one of the 2 or 3 games where I don't know why I'm doing it. I just feel like it's the case. I actually have Minnesota winning and covering. Eastern's actually 5-2 against the spread in their last 7, and Minnesota's 3-7 against the spread. So it makes no sense for me to pick Minnesota, but I just feel like it's a bounce back game for Minnesota at home. Eastern struggled in areas I didn't think they would the whole time. They're still a good team, still a really good MAC team. They can compete with Toledo, but I think Minnesota's going to have a real big bounce back game, especially incredibly underperforming against Nebraska, where I had actually picked them as my lock last week, and I look stupid because of PJ Fleck and the Gophers. But I'm taking them again to cover this week, even with a big 20-point line.
Okay. I got Minnesota winning, Eastern covering. Minnesota, I think they'll have a tough time with Eastern. I felt Eastern let off the gas after they went up 23-0. Kind of got in cruise control. I think Coach, like I said in the pod, Coach Creighton will have those guys ready to play. A big game for them as well. They were pretty much a sieve on defense in the run game against. That's the one thing that worries me. That being against Howard again. I don't know how much of that was I say let off the gas, but man, I don't know. It did look like they were lax,
right?
Once they went up. So I just looked up the under. The under is over under is 48.5. I think it's going to be under. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. So I got Minnesota win, Eastern to cover. All right, so next game we got is UNLV at Michigan. Michigan is minus 37. Over under is 58 points. I am going to go with Michigan to win, and I think UNLV is going to cover. I didn't want to do it. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't think they're going to cover it. And they'll probably prove me wrong, which is fine. I'm good with it. UNLV, I feel like is going to be as tough as ECU, maybe even a little tougher. We'll see. I don't know. UNLV.
Never know.
Yeah, UNLV won last week. Yeah, I'm gonna stick at. You know what? No, Michigan to cover. Michigan to cover.
Boom, baby.
Yeah,
I love it.
Go blue.
Go blue. Yeah, I was gonna agree with you, but yeah, I'm gonna pick Michigan to win, UNLV to cover. I think UNLV is probably might be a little bit better than ECU. I think they'll have time of possession a little bit more, and I don't think Michigan will score as much. But we'll see. But I'm going to take UNLV to cover the spread.
Yeah, I like Michigan to win. That's no problem. And this game, I'd like to pick the under as opposed to the spread, if that's okay. At 58 points, UNLV has gone under in 13 of their last 18 games. Michigan has actually gone under in 5 of their last 6 games in September. So I like the under on that. And I think if I was to pick the spread, I would probably take UNLV to cover based on those under numbers. And you have 2 different coaches, 2 different halves. That might spark some extra stuff going on, or it might slog it down a little bit. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
But
right.
just based on what I saw, I like Michigan to win and the under on that game. That's my stone cold under lock of the week.
I don't know what your lock is anymore.
Well, I got a spread lock. That's the one that counts. But for those who are wanting to know the stone cold lock for an under this week, I think that's it. UNLV's got a big history, man. I mean, 13 of 18. Michigan 5 of 6 in September. Hitting the unders.
That's fair. Hey, no, that's cool. I actually was probably because I changed it, I was gonna say the over. Look for Michigan to put up 80. Go blue.
They obviously have the ability to.
I'll take the loss on it if they don't cover. That's fine. I can't go against the boys.
Fair enough.
Next up, we got Illinois, Kansas. Originally, I had the line at 3.5. It's now down to 3.
Ooh, love that.
Over under is 58. And Eddie, who do you got?
I got Kansas to win and cover. I mean, Illinois is visiting. Toledo's tough, but I don't think Illinois has enough to get it done. Kansas wins, and it'll be by more than 3 points.
Dean, who you got?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Kansas is definitely going to win. Well, maybe not definitely, but they're going to win, and they're also going to cover.
Okay. I have Kansas winning and Illinois actually covering. Kansas did win 48-17 against Missouri State, but it was actually only 27-10 after 3. So that was pretty much some garbage time in the 4th. Illinois played a good team the week before. I think I'm with you on them going away and going to Kansas. I still just don't buy into the hype of Kansas, I guess. I know I probably should, but I'm going to go with Illinois to cover. So no one, I didn't feel comfortable about the over under either. I looked at that. I was like,
that's a tough one. That's a tough game. I mean, honestly, to pick like an over under, you just don't know what you're gonna get from those guys.
Right. So next up on the schedule, we got number 13 Notre Dame at NC State, and oh my bad. Sorry. Yeah, we'll just keep going. We'll go with that. I'll come back to the next game. NC State is plus 7.5. I've got Notre Dame winning and covering. Notre Dame looked good in week 1. UConn kind of kept it close with NC State. And yeah, I think Notre Dame's, I know they're away, but I think Notre Dame's a pretty good team. So I got Notre Dame winning and covering. Dean?
Yeah, I agree. I think Notre Dame is the better team, and I think they'll win, and they'll also cover the spread.
I mean, you guys are making smart picks because Notre Dame is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5. North Carolina State is 2-9 against the spread. That being said, I have Notre Dame winning, but North Carolina State covering. Tell me how that makes sense. What was I doing? Was I on drugs?
Did you do research?
Yeah, you're like, you did.
I did. I felt really good about the pick. I did. Notre Dame has overperformed in my opinion. But I do think North Carolina State is not given maybe enough credit. They're not a great team, but I think they're good enough to keep it within a touchdown.
I almost picked them to cover the spread.
I bet you did, Cowboy.
Baby. It's all gut.
Next up, we got Nebraska at Colorado. Colorado at -3.5. I want to make sure that's right. Current. I want to say it is. No, it's down to 3. Down to 3. Down to 3. Oh, it's
that is surprising.
Yeah. Down to 3. Dean, who you got?
I picked I'm going with Colorado this week. I know on the last Pickem's episode, I kind of was like, everybody's buying into the Deion Sanders hype. Well, I guess I'm drinking that Kool-Aid now because I'm buying in. And I got them covering as well.
Okay. Eddie, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's tough not to pick Colorado in a game like this at Colorado, where it's going to be. I'm still not totally bought in because I don't think TCU is that good, but Colorado was terrible last year. So, and they made a good statement. It's tough not to pick them. I thought for sure that the spread was going to widen by a point before kickoff, not go down half a point. Right. So that means the money's heading towards Nebraska, which is very surprising to me. But I have Colorado winning and covering, especially at 3.
Yeah. That surprises me too. I don't know why, but yeah, I had the same. Colorado winning and covering. Man, Nebraska just keeps losing heartbreakers after heartbreakers. Shador looked amazing. He had over 500 yards passing. Great game to watch. Good for Prime too, man. You know,
it's a good drink.
He got a lot of grief when he let all those dudes go. You know, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes this week.
I mean, they chose to leave.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's true. So, yep, Colorado to win and cover. Moving on, we've got Utah at Baylor. Baylor is at 7.5. The over under is 47.
So
Utah
up
coming
half a point.
Yeah. Yep.
That makes sense.
Surprised it's not more. I'll go first. With that said, I got Utah winning and covering. I almost feel like I don't know why. I feel like this is a trap line.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would think it. Based on, and I did not watch Baylor lose. I did not. I did watch Utah play, and Utah looked good against Florida
with their backup quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. So, and no, I did. I just watched the highlights of Baylor. They did not look great. Texas State is not a good team. I mean, I know that's seems like common knowledge, and I don't mean that to dog them. They shouldn't be on Baylor's level. Texas State,
I guarantee you, nobody from Texas State's watching our stuff.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it.
I'm just saying though. Texas State was 4-8 in the last 2 seasons. 4-8. The their QB looked good. If you watch the highlights, their QB was
he had a great day.
Good. Yeah. So I don't know how it's not more, but I'm still taking Utah with the points.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Utah looked good last week. I don't think Baylor's going to be able to stand up to it. Utah wins and covers.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all I had in here was Baylor lost to Texas State and Utah beat Florida. Utah wins and covers. I mean, that's pretty, especially at that line.
Yeah.
So how do you not?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Next up, we got Purdue at Virginia Tech. The line went down. It's Virginia Tech minus 2.5.
Ooh.
Over under is 46.5. Eddie, who you got this week?
Obviously, Purdue disappointed big time last week, losing to Fresno when they had it under control and they let it go. I mean, they let a West Coast team come into Indiana and beat them. So that being said, Purdue's 1-4 against the spread. Virginia Tech is 4-2. Obviously, in their last 6 and 5 games, I got the Hokies to win and cover.
Dean?
Yeah, same thing. Like you said, Purdue losing to Fresno State's kind of a big red flag to have them covering anything. So I'm picking Virginia Tech to win and cover the spread.
Especially at 2.5.
Yeah.
When it was 3, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. To me, I think it's a toss up. I think I took Virginia Tech for the win and to cover because they're at home, especially now that it's at 2.5. I know that's not usually a big difference, but I mean, even if Virginia Tech wins on a last minute or last second field goal to win by 3, that's you know what I mean. Instead of a push, that's a win. So I'll take Virginia Tech with the points, and I would almost say the under too. I like overs. I don't know if that gets over. So
I haven't watched much Virginia Tech, but I mean, if they're still running that beamer ball type of situation, the under feels like a pretty safe.
Yeah.
Safe play. Whatever.
So next up, we got Texas A&M, number 23 at Miami. The line initially at 4, now it is at 3.5.
Ooh.
Dean, who you got?
I don't know much about either of these teams, as with most of the teams on these lists.
Beautiful.
But I'm going to go with Texas A&M coming into Miami and winning, but Miami's going to cover. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I'm going to go Texas A&M to win. And I'm going to go with the over as my pick. Over 51.
Well, this is my Stone Cold Spread lock of the week, baby.
Ooh.
Yes, A&M visits Miami. A&M's a better team. Plus, they're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games versus an ACC team. Miami is 2-10 against the spread. I love A&M to win, and I love them more to cover. That is my Stone Cold lock spread of the week.
I like it. I like it. I had A&M covering as well anyway, but I the over. I really like the over. So next up we've got number 25 Iowa at Iowa State. The line initially 4 is now down to 3.5.
Ooh, another nice adjustment.
Plus 3.5 for Iowa State.
That's what it was for A&M Miami, right? 3.5. It went down to 3.5.
Yeah, it went down to 3.5. Yep.
Right. Sorry, I was just filling my thing in here.
Over under is 36. So Eddie, we'll let you go first.
Okay. I got Iowa. They're 5-2 actually against the spread. Iowa State 2-4 in their last 6 against the spread. I like Iowa to cover and win. One of the notes I actually have, an extra note for the over/under folks. Last I saw, Iowa is 5 of their last 6 hit the under. Iowa State 8 of their last 9 hit the under. So the under feels pretty good. So for anybody who's looking to add a little something extra, I think the under's pretty solid. Not that most people would shy away from the under in that game, but there have been some high-scoring Iowa State games when I was looking it up, which I was actually surprised. But just a little something extra for you people out there.
I've got Iowa State winning and Iowa covering. I think it's going to be a super close game. I would probably go with the under myself. Unless Cade gets into a air raid mode, but that's not Iowa. So I got Iowa State to win, Iowa to cover.
I got I got Iowa winning. I think I'm going to have Iowa State covering. Rivalry game, close game. See what happens.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Or whatever the case is.
I don't think Iowa State can cover if Iowa wins, right?
I don't know. That's a good question. Moving on. So now the next one is
UTEP at Northwestern is plus 1.5. The over under is 38.5. I have Northwestern winning and covering. I know things
Northwestern's at 1.5.
Yeah, plus 1.5.
Yeah, basically pick them, right? I mean,
yeah, basically a pick them. Yes, but
unless it's 31-30, then you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, that would suck. I don't think it's going to be that close. I know Northwestern didn't look great last week. UTEP lost to Jackson State in week 1. They beat Incarnate Word 28-14. I think Northwestern beats them by 10. At least. Northwestern. Go Wildcats.
Yeah, I also had Northwestern winning and covering as well against UTEP.
Actually got TEP covering. So another interesting note. This is another under note for folks who want to get in on that. UTEP has been under in 5 of their last 7, and Northwestern has been under in 4 of their last 5. So if you want to bet on that also, I think that's another good under to take a peek at. But I got UTEP covering.
Northwestern winning? Or UTEP
Well, no.
winning?
UTEP would have to win to cover.
Oh, my bad.
Because Northwestern starts with a 1.5 lead.
Right. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm looking up over-unders too. So UTEP, you got UTEP, right?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Texas, number 11, Texas at number 4, Alabama. Alabama at -7.5. That stays the same. The over/under is 54. I have Alabama winning, and I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go over
Can I
54.
add something in? My last extra note is actually in conjunction with your over pick.
Yeah.
Texas has gone over in 4 of their last 5 road games, and Alabama has gone over in 4 of their last 6 in general. So I would say that's a great pick.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game too. Alabama looked good last week. The game's in Tuscaloosa.
No way.
Yeah. I'm assuming Saban is probably just annoyed that they're not getting all the attention on them right now. like he probably takes offense to it a little bit, and so he's just going to start demolishing people. And I think Texas is first, so I think it's going to be over. I don't know. I may be completely wrong. I think Alabama wins easily. So, Eddie, what do you got?
Yeah, I always have a hard time buying in on Texas until they prove it again, since the glory days of whenever. But I got Bama winning and covering, and obviously I threw in that note about the over, which I think is a real nice bet to put along with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well. Bama wins and covers, probably wins by 2 touchdowns at least. Maybe not at least, but I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns.
At least.
No. They might win by 10.
So next up, we got number 13, Oregon at Texas Tech. Line is at +6.5 for Texas Tech. The over/under is 68.5. Eddie, who do you got this week?
I don't have anything extra for that. I just think it's one of those games where the talent on one side is just too much. I like Oregon winning and covering on that.
Dean?
Yeah, same thing. Oregon wins and covers.
I would say Oregon wins and covers. Oregon is definitely 7 points better than a team that couldn't beat Wyoming. But Bo Nix is turning out to be a hell of a QB, and I would also take the over too. Just I think Oregon gets close with the over themselves. So I think Texas Tech will do enough to get that over. I know it's a high number, but that's two
cover that
offense heavy teams. So that'd be my bet. I'm gonna stay
over, right.
Yeah, my choice for us is Oregon covering, but I would definitely, I think I might parlay it with the Texas Alabama and go 2 overs.
Yeah, there you
both
go.
overs. So, Wisconsin at Washington State. We got, I want to make sure the line's right. Yep. Stays at Washington State +6. Over/under is 59. Mhm.
It feels
Dean-
high for that, right?
I
Mm.
saw that number 2. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I got Wisconsin winning and covering that game.
Okay, Eddie.
Yeah, I actually struggled with this one a bit. I mean, I have Washington State covering for sure. Wisconsin's 1-4 in their last 5 against the spread. Washington State's 5-2. Wazoo looked more impressive than Wisconsin in week 1. I mean, just straight up, it's week 1. So I've been struggling on who to pick to win, but I think I'm going to go with Washington State actually. In Washington State, at Washington State, yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, they're the +6, so that would mean obviously you took the points too.
Yeah. Well, definitely the spread. I felt really good about that. But
yeah.
The win was tough.
I got Wisconsin winning. As far as what did I say the over-under was? I forgot.
59.
59. Jeez, oh Pete's.
Hey, you want to parlay some unders? Tap Northwestern, Iowa game, plus that one. Do yourself a little 3-piece under?
Yeah, I might just put them all together.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I'm about to add Wisconsin, Washington State to the under too.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a lot of points. I'm gonna stick with Washington State covering though. Give me the under. No. Washington State to cover. Washington State to cover. That's my pick.
I mean, Washington State to cover is the safe bet,
yeah.
in my professional opinion.
Next up, we got Temple at Rutgers. Rutgers -9.5. I think Rutgers should beat Temple by 14 to 21 points. Rutgers to win and cover. The over-under is also 4. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Rutgers wins and covers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have any stats to back it up, but to me, it reminds me of like MSU CMU, and I bet 31-14-ish is where they end up. I like Rutgers to win and cover.
All right. And Charlotte versus Maryland for our last game of the week. Maryland is at -24.5. Over under is 51.5. Dean, who you got?
Well, I have Maryland winning, but do I think their offense is high powered enough to cover the spread?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they should beat Charlotte, right, by that much in theory. So I guess they'll cover. I guess. I don't like that. I don't like that one. I don't like that.
I don't think you're going to be alone because I also. They're just too good. They're probably better than you feel like they are in your head. If you're just going off a gut and not having checked much out, Maryland's too good. 24.5 is a right line, and I think they're going to be over that. For sure. I mean, not for sure, but it feels like it.
Thanks for giving my choice an argument.
Hey, man, you made the right choice. Nothing I can say about that. Yeah. I know. Don't listen to me. Actually, I made I made the most wrong choices last week. So
it'll be me this week.
It ain't going to be me.
I struggled with this game for a while.
That's sad.
And I got Maryland. I mean, I have Maryland winning, but I do have them covering.
Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland.
Yeah,
I got Maryland covering the 24.5. Man, that's another one where the over might be.
Oh yeah, what was the line on that? 51? Yeah, I feel like when you said that, I'm like, man, that over sounds nice.
Yeah,
because I feel like Maryland's Maryland, if they play their starters, right, most of the time, like say they
Mhm.
get up 35 or 30-3, they might not run their guys out there in the fourth.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, it'd be easy to see. So, but the over feels pretty good because it seems pretty easy to feel like Maryland will put up 6 touchdowns in the first half.
Right.
No.
Right. Dean,
That's pretty tasty over.
Dean, you didn't give me your lock.
Oh, I wasn't sure when I was supposed to.
Oh.
My stone cold lock is Colorado when beating Nebraska and taking this covering.
Oh, me too.
Colorado. Oh, we should have talked about it. I would have picked it.
Bandwagon.
Here, no,
I just think three is good.
You take that lock. I'll switch up because I'd like it to be different. Because I'm gonna start parlaying our locks just to see if we can't string together some wins. So
Dude, I feel like my stone cold spread lock was backed up pretty nice this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Northwestern as my lock.
What an idiot!
Yeah, I know. I thought about it.
Or Maryland.
You did sound confident talking about that game.
Texas, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I almost picked
1.5.
myself.
I just think Northwestern should beat them by more than like 10 points.
Dude, I got UTEP winning this thing.
It's crazy.
Maybe not. Yeah, you do, don't you?
I do.
I like them in NCAA football. 14 and 13.
Hey, dude, I rocked that long sleeve UTEP shirt forever.
Yeah, you did.
So I've always been partial to the Miners down there in UTEP.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm gonna lock in my.
I'm not partial to Miners. I'm partial to the Miners of UTEP. Let's cut that out.
Just clip that one part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in my lock, and it's gonna be Utah.
Utah.
I like that. Yeah, yep. I like that a lot.
That's my lock. So perfect. All right. I'm trying to keep it at the same number of games every week. So so we'll see what happens. With that said, I think we're good. I think we're good to go. So good luck this weekend, guys.
Thanks.
Deuces.
Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next. I like it. Oh man, sorry.
Let's finish the show.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Good luck this weekend if you're betting. Have a good one.